Hello guys and welcome to Stevie TV. This is Game Week 13 Premier League weekend preview. We've got a couple of games in this weekend where they are going to be crucial to the way the league's going to go. We've got the main one, which is Manchester City versus Liverpool. That's first versus second at the moment. We've got Newcastle versus Chelsea, which is another big one in the fixtures. But before I get into that, guys, please like the video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And enjoy this video, guys. So, first off, we're going to get straight into it. The first game of the weekend is Manchester City versus Liverpool, and that'll be at 12:30 on Saturday. And as I've already mentioned, it is first versus second. There is 1 point that splits the two. City didn't look great against Chelsea the last time out. Obviously, we've had the international period, which we're glad we don't have to see the back of that for 4 months. But, like I say, City probably came at the best time for City, especially with that game. But City did not look good defensively. That is where they lacked in this game against Chelsea. They did not look good defensively, and with the attacking team that Liverpool are, they could be quite dangerous, especially with the likes of Salah in that side. Liverpool haven't beaten a top 6 team this season either, so they drew against Chelsea, lost to Spurs. So is it going to be one of those games where they are going to struggle against this top 6 side? Only time will tell. And as I say, it's going to be at 12:30 on Saturday. And City are going to be without a few players, so or potentially be without a few players. We've got Edison, Nunez, Ake, who are all doubts. And then the big one, which Haaland is hit and miss whether he's going to play or not. So if he doesn't play, who knows? Picked up a knock in the internationals, and it looks like he might not play this game, which would be a big miss for them. However, City, he might get in spaces, and I think the place where they will do is the left back. Obviously, Robertson is out injured for Liverpool, and I don't think Tsimikas could keep up with the players that City have getting forward. Obviously, depending on if they play Bernardo on the right, Foden on the right, not too sure. Doku's definitely going to put a lot of pressure on Trent, but I think where this game's won is definitely going to be that left back position for Liverpool, and I think City are going to go and win this 2-1, and there'll be a lot of pressure on that left back position, and like I said, Robertson is going to be a big miss for this game. Next up, we have Burnley versus West Ham, and this is a 3 o'clock kickoff on Saturday. Burnley is sitting bottom of the league. Really need a win. Obviously, we don't know what's going to be happening with them. Everton have had the 10-point deduction. They still sit bottom by goal difference. So they've not had a good start, and they don't seem to be looking like they're going to get anywhere at the minute. Looks like one of the teams that might go down this season. West Ham will be confident after their 3-2 win before the international break. Obviously, they got, I think it was an 88th minute winner with Souček. So they definitely want to bounce off that and carry on with a run of wins. They had a run of losses going into that game where they won. So can West Ham keep that momentum going? Only wait and see for that one. Aguero and Bowen look like they could be doubts for this game, which Bowen will be a big miss because he's actually scored in pretty much most or all of those away games. So he will be a big miss. Will he play? I think he might reach the bench, but I can't see him starting in this game. But I'm still going to go with it. A West Ham win. I can't see Burnley getting a goal, and I'm going West Ham 2-0. The next 3 o'clock kickoff is Luton versus Crystal Palace. In this one, Crystal Palace should have Elise back. They are expecting him back for this game, which brings them back to full strength attacking. We've got Elise, Eze. They're both key players to that Crystal Palace attack. Both great set-piece takers. Potentially Palace's best players in that 11. So to get them two fully fit and back in that squad will be a big boost to Crystal Palace. However, Luton, defensively, they look all right. They're trying to counter a few teams, but this isn't a game which I don't think they can counter on. And you can't sit back against Palace either. Like they will do the same thing. So it's going to be a bit difficult for Luton in this one. And like I said, they did well against United, like defensively, but they couldn't get the points, and I can't see it happening here. They've got the home advantage as well, and I still think Crystal Palace have enough to go and get a 1-0 win in this one. The next game is Newcastle versus Chelsea, which I consider is one of the bigger fixtures of this weekend. It looks like Newcastle could be with Isaac Almiron returning. Obviously, we don't know what their condition is at the minute, but they could potentially return in this game. And if they do, that'll be a massive boost to them. They still look weak defensively. They've got Dan Burn and Botman out, and they will still be out for this game. As for Chelsea, though, they're obviously scoring for fun. They've just got a 4-4 draw out of Manchester City. I wrote Chelsea off in that game. I thought City would win convincingly, but obviously Chelsea are proving to be the entertainers. So, will they entertain again? This is the kind of game where you think they might, especially with Newcastle coming off that 2-0 loss to Bournemouth. It's going to be quite crucial to them to get that win again, but the injuries are impacting the squad. But a bonus in terms of Chelsea, Nkunku, however you pronounce his name, he might finally get his first appearance for Chelsea in a Chelsea shirt in the Premier League. Obviously, he got an injury in pre-season. He's never actually managed to get a start out of Chelsea yet. So, will he play in this game? I think he definitely sits on the bench in this one. I don't think he starts. He sits on the bench. Doesn't affect too much what's going on at Chelsea at the minute. Obviously, you got players like Sterling, who I'm really impressed with this season. I think he's been their best player by a mile. Reece James is back, getting him a lot more solid at the back. Thiago Silva, again, a player who should play him beyond his age. Like he should be coming close to retirement, and the guy's still playing some good football. So in this game, I'm actually going to go for a 2-2 draw. I think the fans will get behind Newcastle in this game, and I think they'll do enough to give Newcastle that boost. Obviously, they've got the injuries, but I think they've got enough attacking if Isaac is back, so I'm going to go 2-2. Next game, guys, is Forest versus Brighton. Right, Brighton, I'd say, would be the favourites coming into this one. I don't know what they're actually saying, if they are or not. But can they get back to winning ways? That is the question. They have actually not won a game in nearly 2 months. And you look at Brighton and you think, oh, the Serbia's got Brighton playing amazing. They're such an amazing team. They've got some youngsters coming in. They're always signing the right players. They sell for good money. And this season, it's just not quite cut out for them. They've got the defence. I think they need to improve next season by a mile. But they keep leaking goals, and it's costing them a lot. And like I say, they've not won in 2 months. So against Forest, it's a side where I think they could potentially go and get that goal against Forest. But as I've mentioned, the defence needs sorting. They have not kept a clean sheet all season so far. Every game they've conceded at least one. So they're leaking in goals. But saying this, Forest are unbeaten at home this season. I didn't think they were until I read up on before the game to have a little look in to see team news and things like that. And I found that bit of news that they are unbeaten at home this season, which will give Forest a lot of confidence coming into this game, thinking Brighton aren't the best at the minute. But I think that run ends this time round. I'm going to go with a Brighton 3-1 win. I think Brighton will score goals. We all know they can score goals, but I still think they won't keep that clean sheet and they will concede. And it'll come from a player like Elanga if he's out. I don't believe he's out injured or anything. So I think Elanga's been one of Forest's star players this season. And I think he will continue to get the goals for them, but they definitely not going to get that win, I don't think. So 3-1 Brighton. The last 3 o'clock kickoff on Saturday is Sheffield United versus Bournemouth. This is 2 teams that are fighting for the relegation battle at the bottom. I think they'll still be there by the end of the season. But when you look at it, obviously Everton have lost their 10 points, which we'll talk about in a minute. It's going to be a big fight at the bottom. And this is a crucial 3 points for any of the 2 teams. So if any of these 2 teams can get that win in this game, then it could go on and help them with that relegation battle. But I'm going to say that Bournemouth will be confident. they've just, like I mentioned a minute ago, they have beaten Newcastle 2-0 in the last game. Will the international break kind of knock the confidence a bit? Maybe. But I think Bournemouth will actually go on win this 1-0 against Sheffield United. Will Sheffield United have Matt Burney back? We're not sure. I thought he was meant to be back for the last game, so maybe he's back this time round. But I don't think he starts. Gives him a bit more of an attacking threat, but not as much of an attacking threat as Solanke has been for Bournemouth. He's the one guy that seems to be quite clinical in front of goals. When he's getting the chances, he's scoring them. And he's scored more than half the goals for Bournemouth this season. So if Solanke gets on that score sheet, I think he'll be the one that gets that 1-0 win for Bournemouth. Next game is the 5:30 kickoff on Saturday, and it is Brentford versus Arsenal. Brentford will want to bounce back off their 3-0 loss before the international break. I think it was to Liverpool, if I remember correctly. Again, they've got another tough opposition, top 6 team in Arsenal. They will be without Collins. And as for Arsenal, they will be without Vieira for suspension. Obviously, Vieira got the red card in the last game. But will Odegaard come in straight into that spot and slot right back in? If he's fit, then fair enough. I think he goes straight back in that side, without a doubt, especially now that Vieira's definitely got that red card. So he's suspended. He will not be in that side. As for the goalkeepers, though, as some of you may be aware, Raya is loan banned from this game because he is actually a member of the Brentford squad out on loan to Arsenal. And that will mean that Ramsdale gets his spot back in the net. Will he prove to be the right choice? I think Ramsdale should never have got dropped in the first place. I think he's one of those players that seems to be a bit better in terms of like winding up the other opposition, and it gets makes them miss more chances and causes a bit more disturbance in the squad and doesn't make them settle a bit. So I think Ramsdale needs to be that player that stays in the net. But Raya won't be playing this game. That's my statement on that one. And Jesus is potentially back, so will Nketiah play? Will Jesus play? I think Nketiah starts and Jesus comes off the bench on this one. And I'm going to go with a 2-0 win. And I think Jesus scores in this game as well. Right, the first game on Sunday, which is a 2 o'clock kickoff, is Spurs versus Villa. Spurs are off back-to-back losses here. And they will want to change that momentum because they hadn't lost until those 2 back-to-back defeats. As for players for Spurs, Udogie will be back from suspension. However, they are still missing Romero, Van de Ven, Maddison, and Basuma is out as well. So I believe he suspended Basuma again for yellow cards this time round. So big misses and big players that will impact on this game. And if they had the full strength squad, I would say this would be a Spurs win convincingly. But Villa are dreaming of that Champions League spot. They are still up there at the top. They're in the top 5 in the league, or top 6. And I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw in this game. I think Villa have got enough to keep in the game. And I think Spurs will miss those key players in the squad. The next game is the 4:30 kickoff, which is Everton versus Manchester United. A couple of things to talk about before we get onto the actual game here. So, obviously, we've been hearing things that United look like they're quite close to this Jim Ratcliffe signing. What does that mean for the club? We don't know. We don't know. Is he in with the Glazers? Is he out with the Glazers? What's it going to do to impact this squad? And then the other talking point is Everton getting deducted the 10 points. 10 points, I don't think, makes a difference to Everton's season, in my opinion. I don't know what the actual ins and outs of this deduction was. I've not looked into it enough, but they've obviously documents weren't sent, or they used too much money, or didn't use whatever it is that they have been pulled on. But Everton, with 10 points, are safe, in my opinion, by a long shot. I think they've got 2 points to get out of this relegation zone, and they will be up for this game. They will really be up for this game against Man United. And as for United, we are actually on a 5. In the last 5 games, we are the most informed team. And if you look at the way we play, you'd have never said that. You'd have never ever said that Man United are the most informed team this season in the last 5 games. And we are slowly climbing this table without people realising. And we're currently sat 6th, I think it is. And we're not far off that top spot, like top 4 spot. And we're all United fans, because of the way we played this season, have probably wrote that off already, that we might not even get there. We're actually going to be fighting for this top 4 and thingy. And I think we will be fighting for the top 4. But we're a lot closer than a lot of United people, fans think, because of the way we're playing, it doesn't look good. But being the informed team, 4 wins, 1 loss. The 1 loss that we've lost is a top 6 team, the best team in Europe right now with Manchester City. Even the world. Let's be honest, the best team currently in the world. And with that being said, the fact that United look flat and the way we're playing is just not good enough. We need to be more clinical. We had chances in the game against Luton, and if they can be clinical, United can be a tough side to play against. But we've also got the likes of Shaw, who looks to be returning. I hope he plays in this game. And you've also got doubts in this game with Højlund. We've also got Nana. Both players who might be out this game. I'm interested to see if Bayindir plays. If Bayindir plays, then I'd like to see what he can actually do. But I think we'll see that in the African Cup of Nations when Anana's gone. I think he'll get his chance then. I think Anana will manage to come back, be fit for this game. Obviously, Højlund is a doubt. And Wan-Bissaka is actually still a doubt, as far as I'm aware. He was ill in the last game, but I thought he should be back for this game. But I'm hearing that he's still a doubt for this game. So, don't take my word, but he may not play. As for Everton are countering teams for fun. That's where they're getting their goals, getting the counter. And they look dangerous going forward. Obviously, Calvert-Lewin's back, crucial to that attacking team that they've got. And if he's clinical, then they can score goals. And I think they will score a goal today, on Sunday, sorry. But I am still going to go with a United win, because I'm always remaining positive about United. And I'm saying United 2-1. If we can score goals, United, this is going to be a 2-1 win. So we just need to be clinical. And that's all I ask. Clinical football and positive football. We need to do better. Man United need to do better. We need to be able to enjoy watching Man United again. We can't enjoy it at the minute. Let me enjoy a game for once. And you're on Sunday afternoon football. It should be a good one. So let me enjoy it. But yes, 2-1 Man United. The last game, guys, is a Monday night football game, and it's an 8 o'clock kickoff. It is Wolves versus Fulham. Wolves have scored in every game for the last 13 games in all competitions. Not something I knew until I read up on this, but it's good for Wolves to know that they can score goals at the minute. Will Pedro Neto come back? He is a doubt for the game, but there is a little chance that he might return. But he won't want to rush back, because he is one of the most crucial players for Wolves. And he will have a massive impact on the squad going into the later part of the season, into next half of the season. Paulina is suspended, or Paulinho is suspended for yellow cards. However, Diop might be back for Fulham, which would be quite interesting to see. Fulham have actually lost, well, not won in the last 4 Premier League games. So Wolves knowing that they can score goals, Fulham knowing they're struggling at the minute. Can they actually go and get this? Can Wolves actually go and get the win? Who knows? I'm saying they can. I'm saying a 1-0 win to Wolves. But then you've also got Jimenez, who plays for Fulham, who also used to play for Wolves. Will he have an impact on the game? Obviously, he's finally scored now, so who knows? Can only wait and see, but I'm saying Wolves 1-0. That is it for the video, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you got to the end of it. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any support, any newcomers just coming out the channel. We're on the road to 1,000. We've only got 12 more to go. Help me out. Thank you. See you in a bit, guys.